Today's video is sponsored by... The purpose of today's video, first of all, is to motivate myself to keep filming instead of filming one video and then setting it down and then not filming ever again, which is usually what happens from my experience on YouTube. So I'm going to try to break out of that. So that's one point of today's. That's one of the points of today's. That's one of the points.
Nice shot.
And the other point is to follow up from last time's video, which was, if you haven't watched it, probably should, me kind of speaking about my anxiety regarding graduation from art school and sort of what I want to do after I graduate, and how am I going to stay alive. And that's still not super clear to me. I want to preface it with that. I don't completely know how I'm going to stay alive, but I at least did some research. So a couple days ago, I sat down with my dad, who thankfully is very good with money and can help me out with that. And it was scary to do, but I recommend everybody do this, where if you are about to move, or if you are about to move on to the next chapter of your life, or graduate like I'm doing, write down every expense you think you're going to have. So that includes the obvious things like rent, utilities, any groceries or miscellaneous, insurance, other expenses that are monthly and you need them to either stay alive or you would prefer them to be a part of your life. So I did both. I did both essentials and things that I absolutely need, otherwise I will perish. Let me say that when I was doing this, I started sweating immediately, or I started sweating after the first 3 numbers, and I especially started sweating and crying after I looked up the salary of what an in-house job at an ad agency or design firm, which is what I was looking at previously, would be paying annually for an illustrator / graphic designer. I literally, at least at the company I was looking at, would not be able to survive. I would not be able to pay my bills and do everything I want monthly. However, that being said, there's a lot of things that can probably be cut out or cut down with my list. So I'll go into this, and I'm being very transparent about numbers. So I will be saying dollar amounts. I don't really mind doing that because, I just want to be honest. I want other people to know, because not a lot of people talk about how much they're paying per month for all of their expenses. And again, this is a projected, what am I trying to say? This is a guess as to what I will be spending. This is not exactly what I'll be spending. So let's start with the obvious stuff. We said rent, probably around $900 a month. That is if I'm living alone and in a studio apartment in a small downtown somewhere. Utility, we said probably electric is $50, Wi-Fi is $50, phone is $60. So that adds up to $110. Health insurance, $200. Car insurance, $300. Again, rough estimates. Grocery, I said $150. That is probably way too low. That's if I'm buying steamed broccoli and some beans. That's not enough, so I would probably up that to a little bit more. Gas, probably about $45 a month. Spotify and Amazon, things like that, $10 for each of them. Gym, I accounted for. I said $60 for a gym. However, there might be a gym at the place I'm living at, which would be really helpful. However, I do like to climb, as you guys know, and that is something that I have to think about. I either need to start outdoor bouldering and be living in a place where I can outdoor boulder, or just pay for an indoor gym, which sucks because it's usually $60 to $100 a month, depending on the gym. Now come some big weird numbers, and that is miscellaneous, which I did not originally intend to put down. My dad was like, you really need to have this because you're going to be going out to eat, you're going to go to a bar, you're going to buy art supplies, you're going to have an emergency, you need to have a miscellaneous number. And so for that, I put $400 a month. that can really vary. I'm not sure if that's going to be the same every month. It might be more, it might be way less. So savings, this is something that I wanted to allot for because I already do this, where if I get a large chunk of money, I always put some into savings, like a small percentage. So for that, I said $300 a month. And then also retirement. That is something that I am thinking about, which is weird to say, but I allot $200 a month for that. Again, these numbers really can change, especially after seeing my final number, which is $2,735.
Nice shot.
That is more than I would be getting paid for a full-time job at a design firm, at least the one I was looking at. So that scared me, and I had a big fat cry after I added that all up. I could not even stop the water coming out of the holes in my face because I was like, why am I getting paid such a small amount to do something that I feel is kind of a hard job to do? I know a lot of people look down on artists, but we're putting our whole heart and soul into what we do. So the fact that we would be getting paid far, far less than someone doing a STEM job, I don't know. To the STEM people out there, you guys are mad smart and you do a lot, but oh my God, we do a lot too. It's just very different. So in the end, what I am walking away with at this point is knowing how much I could get paid for an in-house job that is steady pay, which is nice, while also thinking about doing Etsy to make up that extra money that I would need to stay alive, which is no problem because really, I guess I should state how much the job is paying. So $30,000 to $32,000 is what the Glassdoor thing said for a graphic designer at this company I'm looking at. Again, I don't know if I would even be a graphic designer or if I would be considered another job in the company, but I'm using that as worst case scenario because that is the lowest paid job at the company. So we take that, we add about $100 or more a month, and then I will be able to stay alive. And of course, the other option is to do full-time freelance, as we have discussed in my previous video. That scares me a lot. I did talk on the phone with my friend Max last night, and you guys should check out his work. He is currently full-time freelancing. It's Max Wilkins Illustration on Instagram. Really cool person, and we talked a lot about how to pay the bills as an illustrator, how you should be getting your work out there, art directors, so on and so forth. So I think the next video or the next couple videos will be me talking a little bit about reaching out to various art directors or clients, so on and so forth. I still have to do a lot of research into that, as well as looking at agents for freelance illustration. I think I just want to be knowledgeable in all areas of career path because right now the money is really scaring me. No matter what anybody really says, they're like, you'll be fine, you will make rent, you'll be okay. For some reason, I don't feel like I will. If you have a bad month, everybody has bad months. It doesn't matter your following or how much content you're pushing out. Sometimes clients just don't bite. Sometimes you just don't get opportunities. So once again, I feel like I've said nothing, but we did cover costs today and talked a little bit more about career stuff. I will be, after Christmas, going up to Greenville, South Carolina, which is someplace I am looking at to live in. I really like it. It's small downtown. It's kind of young, a little bit artsy. I think it's kind of up and coming, and I will be looking at some apartments there, kind of pricing some stuff out, as well as going to the design firm that I was looking at. Don't know if I can even go there, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go down there in person with a leave behind thing. I'm gonna make up a little, this is me, this is my work, Z-fold, cute, printed little moment, and then I'm gonna leave it behind with them and hope that maybe that sticks. You really have to sell yourself as an illustrator if you are trying to kind of hustle. Thank you guys for listening to me ramble on once again, and let me know If there's anything that you want to hear about besides all this, I'd like to not just make videos where I'm talking about the grim situation of trying to survive as an artist, so we can have some fun eventually. Subscribe if you want to.